My name's Colby. I'm 23. I've lived on the streets for 5 years since I was 18 because of my stepdad. I went to go hit my mum, so I defended my mum and hit him, and she chose him over me, and I've been on the streets since then. I'm epileptic and I find it quite hard to it's just my self-confidence it's gone down quite a bit since I've been put on the street, but it's really hard for me, and all I can really say is just try your best to keep in good positions and stay healthy and try keep a flat or a house. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about life growing up before that happened?
My head's gone well, I've lived with my mum since I'm born really. But yeah, I still see her every now and again because of my little brother. He means the world to me. I go to him every now and again, but I just can't stay at my mum's house because of my stepdad. So
what's your relationship like with your mum?
It's quite good, the relationship with my mum. We stay in touch quite a lot, but we just try not to get into arguments and things like that, because my temper is it goes up very easily, but I just try my best to keep calm and be nice around her.
Yeah. You mentioned before that you were epileptic.
Yeah, I started having seizures when I was 11, and some of my seizures are quite bad. There was one time where I got put into hospital for 6 months. I was in a coma. I had about 40 seizures in the space of 3 days, and 4 of them lasted over 45 minutes each. I nearly died, and I do appreciate what the nurses in St James's do for me every time I get put into hospital. They know me in that hospital quite well, and they help me quite a lot, and I just want to say thank you to them.
How is it being homeless and dealing with that? Because I imagine it must be quite difficult.
It is quite hard. I do forget about my medication quite a lot, and that's what makes me have bad seizures, for not taking my medication. And it is really hard being epileptic and being on the streets, because the cold is even worse for it.
Yeah.
It makes my body just freeze up, and I just can't do anything.
So I imagine having a seizure is a scary experience anyway, but having it outside when you're vulnerable, I imagine makes it even scarier.
Yeah, because I don't know who's going to come and help me whilst I'm having the seizure. They might not see me having it, or some people can just ignore you and walk past you, which has happened to me before. And people just don't pay any attention to me. And I've been told to fuck off before, and it's hard. It is very hard.
Do you form quite close relationships with people out here? Like, do you look out for each other?
My friend who you've just interviewed there, I met him on the streets and we became quite close because we've got a lot of things in common. But we help each other out all the time, do what we can for each other, and I look after him and he looks after me. He tells me to take my medication all the time, reminds me, and he's very happy with me when I don't take it, because he knows what will happen. He knows I'll end up having seizures and stuff like that. So yeah, I appreciate that from him, helping me out. And I've told my mum about him before as well. She spoke to him and said thank you for reminding me to take my medication and stuff. So yeah.
What did you want to be when you were growing up?
I actually wanted to be a mechanic, and I had an apprenticeship at the Audi garage on Dewsbury Road, and then something happened and I ended up losing the apprenticeship, and yeah, I still know what I'm doing with cars and stuff like that. I know how to fix them and stuff like that. I've always wanted to be a mechanic, but yeah.
Is that where you
That's I'd like to see myself in the next 5 years or so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And has anyone ever offered you any help before to get off the streets?
I've had a couple of people come up to me, and they've even offered me a job before. They were self-employed, they offered me a job. They said if you end up working with us, then you end up getting somewhere to stay and you won't be on the street anymore. So, but I ain't seen that person since. But yeah.
What about the council and stuff like that? Do they help? Or?
The council are trying to help me get somewhere into a hostel. I actually had a seizure in the council and they kicked me out because they thought I was kicking off in there. And they banned me from the council for like 3 or 4 months or something, and I didn't understand that. Yeah.
Have you got any advice for people watching this?
My advice is to, if you're not on the streets, then just try keeping that way and stay healthy really, and just appreciate everything people do for you. Because some people do try and help, but some people are just ignorant and they'll just ignore you and tell you to go away.
I was going to say, I guess you see like the best and the worst of people.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
When you're on the street, you do see like the good in people and the bad in people. But not everyone's bad and not everyone's good, but some people do like to help, which is nice.
What's the worst thing that's happened to you?
The worst thing is when I actually had a seizure in the street, and there were a group of people and they just walked past me and left me there, sitting on the floor for about half an hour. I ended up in hospital. I was in hospital for about 3 weeks or something. So yeah, just try stay healthy. Yeah.
What's the hardest part about being homeless?
Hardest part is trying to make money to get somewhere to stay. But you guys are doing this and I appreciate that. It'll help me tonight getting in a hostel with the money that you guys helped me with. So thank you.
Thank you very much for watching. We're now going to talk a little bit about it. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have enjoyed. Thank you. So, Colby's been on the streets for 5 years.
Since he was 18.
Since he was 18. So his mum effectively chose his stepdad over him.
Yeah.
That must be...
Feel betrayed.
He says he still has a good relationship with his mum.
Yeah.
To me that... I don't know.
What don't you know?
Like obviously I don't want to say too much about a situation that is not like my situation, and I don't want people to watch this and think I'm coming across as being judgy or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't understand as a mum how you could pick someone else over your son or daughter or child over your child. Like I don't get it.
It's more common. It's more common in women.
Yeah, I think it's just as. I'm not blaming either gender. Come on, how often do you see men that go and get new girlfriends and new families and just leave their old family behind? That is quite common.
How often you see a woman that leave her kids for
Well,
a
that's
new,
it. I don't
for
know
a new
anyone
partner?
that's left their kids.
Really?
No one.
I know plenty.
I obviously hang out with the right people and you hang out with the wrong people. I don't know anyone that's ever done that. I'm trying to think now. No one. Like I just can't imagine. And I feel like that reflects really badly on your choice of partner as well. As in, if your partner's making you make that choice between them or the kid, like that's a red flag.
That's a red flag. You can't
That's
choose.
a whole bunch of red flags.
You can't choose your partner over your kid.
And you should never feel like you're being put in that position to do so. Like your partner should never ever make you feel like it's got to be them or your child. Because that's major red flags.
Oh yeah.
That's like controlling, manipulative. Obviously being homeless in itself is a struggle.
Yeah.
It's made all that much harder for him by being epileptic.
I bet.
More than, say, you or I would find being homeless. It's just his self-confidence really taking a hit.
But where do you get medication? If you're homeless, how do you get medication now? Would you go to a GP?
So you'd have to, wouldn't you? I don't really know. He was diagnosed when he was 11, so I don't know how it works with regards to like obviously like repeat prescriptions. You just can hand in again and again and again to whatever pharmacy.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works with like anti-seizure drugs and stuff, whether it every so often has to be reviewed or checked or I don't know. Because if that was the case, then no, he wouldn't need to go see a GP, would he? But then he's ended up in hospital a fair few times. Whether they'd probably review the medication and that as well. But yeah, it makes it difficult. Like, how do you stick to because like obviously with medication, especially that kind of medication, you need to sort of stick to a routine with it, don't you?
Yeah,
like same time every day.
You can't miss. You can't miss.
No. And I imagine being homeless makes that even more difficult.
More difficult, yeah.
Sometimes I bet you've got no idea what time is, or what if that's the only time you've managed to close your eyes, or if the medication has to be taken with food or
with
water.
Food,
what
if you are not eating,
yeah.
so you can't take medication without food.
No.
Some medication without food, and if you're homeless, you don't have no money.
No.
So you need to try to find a way to balance it.
And the fact that, and we saw this with Reese as well, the fact that he can be having a seizure in public and some people can just walk on by.
Yeah.
That to me is...
It's terrible.
It like scares me a bit that people could just watch, but then I guess maybe they thinking that he's on drugs and that.
Yeah.
But then still, like, as a human being, like, even if he was on drugs and his seizure was something he'd caused, like, he still it doesn't mean he deserves to die or...
But most people, they just don't want to get involved in other people's business.
No.
No.
And some people like rushing into hell. Obviously, I said a little bit before, but it amazes me that he still has that relationship with his mum.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it does amaze me.
What?
I take that back, it doesn't amaze me. Because I think when you have like that toxic parent, not that I'm saying his mum's toxic because I don't know her, and so I'm not going to judge on that situation, but I think when you have that toxic relationship with a parent, I think because they're your parent and it's drummed into you from a young age that like blood is thicker than water, blah blah blah, like you should always stand by your family.
Yeah.
I think it is very difficult, no matter what that parent does, to...
If they still got a good relationship, that's good. If they can put everything behind it and move on.
But they can't. They're not moving on, are they? In a way, as in like he still can't go home because his stepdad's there.
Yeah, but he's an adult now. You know, he's an adult, so he needs to find his own way.
I know, but when you like made homeless in those circumstances at the age of 18, like it's hard. Like that's not how most people find or make their way, is it?
No, but
like it's harder.
Relationship with his mum, I think both of them are moving on with their life.
I know, but that's the point I was getting at. Like, some people would have cut ties with their mum for that, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Like I think it's really easy for people to say like, oh, if your mum or dad does that, like you shouldn't have anything to do with them. But like speaking from experience, it's so difficult.
So difficult.
Like it's so difficult to cut. Like no matter what they do,
They're
cut them off. They're your
parents.
Like it's so difficult. So I do have a lot of respect for people that do justifiably cut their parents out of their life, because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. So he wanted to be a mechanic growing up, and that's still what he'd like to do. And I don't feel like that's beyond
Achievable.
Yeah.
Like anything is achievable if you put your mind to the right place.
I see where you're going with that. I'm not going to go into an argument if literally anything is not always possible.
There is though, if you put your mind, for him to do what he want to do in life is doable.
Especially, yeah. And it's good, like, because so many people I think go through like not knowing what they want to do. Like, it's good to know what you want to do.
Yeah.
And the council are trying to help him, trying to get him into a hostel now. And I think as soon as hopefully he has somewhere stable to go at night, and hopefully the only way will be up for him.
Yeah.
And like obviously we're really grateful for him for telling his story to us, because it can't have been easy for him.
No.
But yeah, I hope it starts to get better for him, and because no one deserves to be living on the streets.
No.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? No. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next week. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have enjoyed.